I want to talk about this. This is a question I put out to Twitter. So often we talk about sort of the pairings on this show. So far we're just a couple of episodes in, but we've got a couple of pairings. We've got Brienne and Podrick.
Yeah.
We've got Jaime and Bronn now, and we have, of course, Tyrion and Varys. So who are your favorites?
Of like the current ones,
of the
right?
current ones,
not in the history of the show.
Yeah.
Right now, the potential for Bronn and Jaime is cool. I am really liking the Brienne and Podrick one, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there is something, you know, it's just like this, the strong, it's a kind of classic thing, right? The strong stoic character and the fool.
Yeah.
But it works, you know, and Podrick's very lovable and his just like trying to be a good squire.
Yeah.
Trying to like help out, and Brienne, you know, kind of trying to reject him, but then she's got some endearment for him you feel underneath. It was great when, you know, the scene where he was ineffectually throwing the rock at the guy, and then she shows, "Duck, Podrick," and takes out those two guys.
She's so heroic. She is such a classic vision of a knight in some ways, in terms of her behavior and her sort of stance and view on the world and her role in it. It's really interesting to put that sort of, I'm going to say juxtaposition, I guess, but as someone that isn't your classic image of a knight, but she acts like one, even with Podrick. But yeah, you got to love Podrick, man.
Yeah.
He's just so sweet.
The prostitutes loved Podrick.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Right?
Everybody's loving a little Podrick.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to more of Bronn and Jaime. I feel like that could end up being a great one. But, you know, I got to say, like, to me, just because those two characters are so fascinating and so nuanced, and they are not kind of easy to read, Varys and Tyrion, I just can't get enough of seeing them together still. Just because, again, like, I feel like you've got who Podrick is, you get who Brienne is. With them, you're like, I don't know, you know, fully who you are.
They're two extremely intelligent characters, but yeah, they both have their guard up. Varys even more for us. Like, we know what Tyrion's about a lot more, obviously, at this point.
We do, but I think that he's in a moment of crisis where he doesn't know who he is.
Right, right. This is his most vulnerable. He's out there. He's a wanted man.
Yeah.
And those characters always played well off each other when they had their moments at King's Landing. But it is cool to take them away from everyone else and really see just the two of them and their conversations. Two great performances, too, obviously.
Yeah.
So when the two of them are just sitting there talking, even if Tyrion's drunk or puking,
especially when Tyrion's drunk and puking.
Yeah, it is really cool to see the two of them bounce off each other like that.
And I also like the fact that Varys is trying to tell him who he is, remind him of who he is, and that Tyrion, you know, to his credit, was honest about the fact that he really does like power, and that Varys is pushing him to a point, because he's positioning him like a pawn, as he does the rest of the world, but pushing him to rise above his current state of despair. So it's pretty interesting to me.
I also do have to say I'm fascinated by the Sansa Littlefinger dynamic, because it's twisted, like the whole projection of like, I loved your mother and she's dead, so now I'm gonna love you, but
I'm also gonna kind of raise you.
Kind of raise you as my daughter, but I lust for you, and you're my, you know, protege in villainy.
Yeah,
you know,
and I'm also going to kind of use you as a pawn.
Right.
There's a lot of layers.
But I do want to protect you. It's all messed up. But then the fact that, okay, of course, it's fascinating to see Dark Sansa, we've joked about it before, and where she's going. And the fact that the more she's around Littlefinger and the more you sense that she's understanding both how this world works and how Littlefinger works, the more you sense that she could be manipulating him, if she's not yet, that she's kind of figuring out how to. And that it's like, and that she's probably more and more realizing that at a certain point she could get him to do things for her.
Well, the moment that I'm looking forward to with them, if we ever get it, and I don't know that we will, is when she really is at the point that she thinks she can get him to do things that he doesn't necessarily want to do, and how he would respond to that. Watching them actually get to the point where they're equals and they can parry, I think would be a great thing. But yeah, it's a fascinating dynamic. It is so messed up. All right.
I called her Hot Topics on Twitter last night. I'm sticking with it.
Hot Topics. All right. Let us know which pairings you like so far this season, not in total. That may be another conversation at some point. Make sure to let us know in the comments below.